and drift away. And I don't care how high you are. In your mind being held down.
To the south of the People's Republic of China, Hong Kong occupies a strategic position on the coast right alongside the Pearl River. This is an ideal site because it includes territory on the continent and more than 260 islands. Hong Kong was a very busy port well before the arrival of Westerners at the beginning of the 16th century. In spite of pirates, the European maritime powers all rushed for one of the rare passageways to China. Commerce expanded, even if, officially, the Europeans had come to evangelize the country. In 1842, the British founded a colony there that provided them with tea, porcelain, and silk. It was an Englishman that discovered the flower of a tree, here called bauhinia. Close to an orchard, it symbolizes Hong Kong, which has been part of China again since 1997. Their flags fly together, but the Chinese flag is larger and higher. Hong Kong means Port of the Perfumes in Cantonese. It is both the name of the territory and of an island. Opposite, the Kowloon Peninsula is very near. It is accessible from Hong Kong by the Star Ferry and by 2 tunnels built under the bay. The highest point rises to over 950 meters. Hong Kong is hilly on the islands as well as on the mainland. To reduce the frequent landslips, the steep slopes are reinforced, but plant life is carefully preserved. Every individual has a well-defined place in a city with more than 7 million inhabitants. "95% of the population is of Chinese origin, but foreigners are very much present. Many come from Indonesia and the Philippines. The British model has helped the development of Hong Kong, but there have been many obstacles to overcome, like the housing crisis at the end of the Second World War. Little individual houses belong to the distant past. Today, half the population is housed in gigantic apartment blocks. Space is rare, so real estate could only develop upwards. Even cemeteries have extra stories. With more than 6,000 inhabitants per square kilometer, the population of Hong Kong is breaking records. Population density is 200 times higher than in the average medium-sized European city. There's something of a Manhattan in a city that still makes use of traditional techniques like bamboo scaffoldings. However, colonial architecture is not necessarily sacrificed to urban growth. When threatened, it is protected. In the face of modernity, traditional values are given deep respect. The 2 ancient religions, Buddhism and Taoism, are widely practiced. Tradition has remained strong in the face of both Western values and Chinese communism. In fact, other modes of thinking, other religions, have found a haven in Hong Kong. The fulfillment of the spirit through control of the body is a permanent quest in Hong Kong. The ways of obtaining it vary according to the budget available to spend on it. Golf is expensive and reserved to a privileged few. The leisure culture has not developed to the detriment of traditional activities, many of which have not changed for centuries. An important part of the day is devoted to meals. The preparations have, in some cases, become more elaborate, but the gestures are the same. Whenever and wherever appetite strikes, people eat. In Hong Kong, time is precious. Hong Kong doesn't possess any natural resources, but its economy is one of the most successful in the world. In spite of China's opening its frontiers, it transits 40% of its exports through Hong Kong. It's the world's leading port in container traffic. On a simpler level, cardboard boxes are being delivered everywhere in thousands. The Hong Kong Stock Exchange is the second biggest in Asia, behind Tokyo, but the revenue per inhabitant is above that of Japan and all European countries. Figures in commerce and business are following upward curves in many fields. Traditional sectors have doubled, and now more recent activities such as cinema production have achieved great heights. Hong Kong has become a real star, and she wants to look like one. The city lives at a high tempo, but sometimes it has to slow down. Tickets are received the same way, everywhere. Hong Kong has made great efforts to facilitate exchange between different parts of the territory. Everything possible has been done to improve the mobility of the workers. The city is lively, but it wants to shine. For such an outward-looking country, it's a question of image. And the image is good if the development in tourism is anything to go by. Hong Kong is the 7th most visited tourist destination in the world. Tourists are looking at Hong Kong in a new way these days. Initiation in ancestral traditions has been added to the tourist programs, and the language is not a problem.
Welke?
Zwarte shirtje, verderop een rode tas.
Oh, die hand in hand kameraden.
Ja.
Hong Kong wants to reach the summits, but it needs to have the necessary intellectual and material means to do so. In the beginning, it was too small to possess sufficient resources, but everything changed with the coming of communism in China. Yon Fan is an actor and director.
Hong Kong is a place where that all the talents from China, they came to Hong Kong at the changing of the regime. And then the talents in Hong Kong, they flourish, and then they input everything, the best opportunities and the best talent into the movie industry. And then they create a lot of original things, the originality of glamour, the originality of action and everything. That is the reason why that Hong Kong film industry, without any help from the government, was flourishing into one of the biggest and most important movie industry in the world.
Today, Hong Kong is a special administrative region of the Popular Republic of China. How could an ultra-liberal city integrate with China? Sherman Kung is an architect.
Hong Kong has been always independent, particularly in the economic development. When we design building, basically it's relating to a personal development or to an institution. Therefore, there's nothing to do with the politics.
Also, that years later, in the 70s and 80s, Hong Kong is becoming very international. So all the best people from all over the world, they came to Hong Kong, and they think Hong Kong is a free port, it's free in ideas, and it's free in tax, and it's free in many other aspects. So Hong Kong became very international.
Therefore, you have international architects coming to do works in Hong Kong, or you have people from Europe, you have people from United States, from Australia, they all come to Hong Kong. Because Hong Kong is a stepping stone for you to do anything in China. So Hong Kong has been a melting pot because in the old days a British colony. Therefore, Hong Kong actually absorbed all the best of the Western world and also the best of the Eastern world, and sort of melting together and develop according to the requirements.
Skyscrapers soar in tight rows on the island of Hong Kong. There are fewer of them, however, on the Kowloon Peninsula. This is because the construction of tall buildings was forbidden near the old airport. Today, available land is very much sought after.
But on Hong Kong side, because the land is very scarce, it's only along the edge of the island that you have flat land to build the building. Therefore, most of the building had to go up higher and higher.
Yes, in Hong Kong, buildings are getting higher and higher, but just how high can they go?
Actually, there's no limit to it. It depends on the requirement of the owner and the financial situation.
Nathan Road, Kowloon. The Golden Mile is the southern part of the street. It's a commercial district that's always on the move. When Hong Kong became English, Nathan Road was the first road laid out in Kowloon. Nathan was the name of a British governor. The streets are closed to traffic near Temple Street as of 7:30 p.m. That's when the night market starts. Like in Ladies' Market, commerce is divided up into centres of interest. The choice is so huge here, it's impossible not to find what you're looking for. The copper of a traditional pharmacy now make up the setting for a no less traditional fast food. In Hong Kong, nothing is lost. Everything is used creatively.
Thank you for watching A Symphony of Lights. See you next time. 多謝莅臨欣賞幻彩詠香江，再見。謝謝莅臨欣賞幻彩詠香江，再見。